Namaste Krishna Rao garu. We welcome you back to IYR Talks for a review of for the weekend at 23rd March 2024. Coming to as usual on the international affairs, this time I just want to take your reflections on the strikes by Pakistan over Afghanistan, so-called ISIS hideouts. That's one point. And then the second thing also, what we have seen last week, we have seen the terrorist attack in Russia, and many people in the musical concert they died, and and there is a rumor that there is also a Islamic terrorist attack. I think ISIS must have wound it up and all that. So, do you feel that there is any relation between this strike and that ISIS role in both the things? Can you just elucidate on that?
Yeah, Pakistan, Afghanistan is an ongoing conflict. Pakistan really thought once Taliban gets to power in Afghanistan, they will play as per their tunes and they will get a strategic depth and they can dominate Afghanistan. That's why when America stationed its force in Afghanistan and when these Taliban was fighting the Americans and the NATO group, Pakistan secretly supported Taliban while outwardly trying to give a feel that they are with the Americans. They cross played them. I mean, they played a double game with both of them. The moment America has decided to leave Afghanistan, these fellows were overjoyed. Now we have the total Taliban under our control. So their ISIS head went there and tried to set up the cabinet and everything. But slowly Afghanistan started asserting itself, and the real geopolitical issues of conflict between Pakistan and Afghanistan are coming to the forefront from in the last 1 to 2 years. And it took just 6 months for the friendship to go apart and real issues to come up. A lot of these militants who are striking in Pakistan are taking shelter in Afghanistan, and Afghanistan is supporting them. There is what is known as Tehreek-e-Taliban. That's the name of the organization which is doing this. And it's deadly, especially in Pakhtunkhwa area. And of course, they are fighting another group in Balochistan, which is known as Baluchi Liberation Army. But of course, they don't have a hideout in Afghanistan. They operate from Iran border, because Balochistan is bordering Iran. This is on this side. So, Pakistan is trying to request Taliban to control them, but Taliban is just ignoring their request. So, now they say they have sent their air force and done some surgical strike and struck some of those bases, just like we struck at Balapur just before 2019 elections. I don't think Afghanistan would take it lying down. So it's going to be a major issue between both the countries, and the relationships are going to get sour, and we'll have to see the fun, because if both of them are fighting, it's not bad for India. So that's where it stands as far as the Afghanistan and Pakistan relationship is concerned. So the same extremism in a different way is playing out in Russia. That concert where the now allegedly ISIS has struck is a major disaster, where spectators who are sitting there were made targets and killed. And that's the way the ISIS operates, because it's a sick organization of the world. This origin of ISIS, if you go, sometimes how foolish America can be is an example how ISIS has grown. If only they allowed that fellow Saddam Hussein to stay in Iraq and control that place, ISIS would never have come up. Whatever are the bad qualities of that fellow, at least he is not a fundamentalist. And he would have never allowed these type of organizations to develop and grow. But the day they deposed Saddam Hussein without an alternative plan to take its place in Iraq, Iraq almost all got into a civil war situation. There were Shias who were backed by Iraq, and there were the Sunni Muslims. The Sunni Muslims got together under a fellow called Baghdadi. That fellow, Abbas Baghdadi or something his name, he went back to the Quran and told, no, the rule has to be as per a caliphate, as per the Quran itself. And there is one branch of Islam known as Salafi Islam, where they are the purest rule as per the Quran. So that's the branch to which these fellows belong. And he established a country called the Levant of Khorasan or something, all that area which is bordering Syria, part of Iraq. He made it. And they were merciless, cruel fellows. There is a small community known as Yazidis there in that area. These Yazidis are spread over Syria, Iraq and Turkey, but they are not Muslims. They are one of the oldest ethnic community in that area who have their own way of worship and systems which is not Islamic. So they started really massacring those HDs and taking those women as sex slaves, because these fellows think that they have a right over all other women because of their religion, and did atrocities. This ISIS has become a menace in their days, and both America and Russia both targeted them. America has targeted them mercilessly. Russia, because they were supporting that fellow Assad in Syria, who was also opposed to the ISIS. So in eliminating ISIS from that area, Russia played a crucial role. Iran also, because they were also targeting Shias. Iran also joined in that front to eliminate ISIS. So is that ISIS fellows who came in did this massacre? Most probably, maybe, because these are the fellows who are responsible for the Paris massacre as well. And recently they also struck in Iran. Could be, but Putin says it could be Ukraine fellows, and this is a false alarm stating that is ISIS. Whatever it is, it needs to be probed into, but in all probability it could be ISIS, because America itself has warned well in advance that a Islamic terrorist attack is going to be there in USSR, and American intelligence is very, very pakka in these things. If they have made a warning, there is strong basis for it. So in all probability it's an ISIS work, and they are very, very active in Northern Africa, Northwestern Africa, I mean where the Muslim population is there. So unless the world wakes up and deals them firmly both on the strategically eliminating the fellows and also ideologically, because it's a strong ideologically. I mean, you will have to take the moderate Muslims with you, enlightened Muslims with you, Gulf states with you, and fight against them. Otherwise, they can be a continuing menace for the world.
Thank you, sir.